Hey everyone, it's Rita. Welcome back to my channel. I feel like it's been a very long time that I posted and a very long time that I actually did like a more chit-chat makeup look. So today we're gonna have this makeup right here. It's going to be pretty much using either my favorite products or my favorite brands. This is going to be my first official video of kind of like makeup. Not really tutorial, because I don't really like to call them tutorials, but just kind of like my first makeup video after my eye surgery. If you didn't know, I did get LASIK almost like a month and a couple of weeks ago, and this is going to be the first video after that. I have used makeup, but I hadn't filmed it. So for this newer video, I wanted to use the favorite, like the top of the tops on my list. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see how I got this makeup look, then just keep on watching. I am going to be using kind of like my favorite products or some of my favorite brands. The very favorite primer that I have that's going to be hydrating, it's the Bobbi Brown Face Base. So my skin is more on the drier side, really real year-round, but especially during colder months. So we are kind of like getting to the colder months, and I have felt that my skin has been a tiny bit more drier than usual. So this is always a savior for me. So I pretty much just put it everywhere. I feel like if you had a more normal to oily skin, this could even work very good as a kind of like double up as a moisturizer and a primer. So to me it's just a primer because I do need a lot of hydration and I always go for an actual moisturizer. But this is such a good product. I absolutely love it. I have a new foundation to try and I'm pretty excited. I was so excited I broke the box that it came in. So this is the Airbrush Flawless Foundation by Charlotte Tilbury. So my favorite foundation ever, it's going to be her glowy one. I can't remember the name of it. I think I have it. I have it right in front of me, so it's gonna be the Light Wonder. So this is my favorite foundation, so I picked up the matte one and I'll see how I like it. I've had like a bit more of whiteness to cover lately, so I feel like my skin has just gone a little bit more lighter than it was before. So I've been kind of like gravitating more towards matte foundation. So let's try this one. I also picked a new brush, a couple of new brushes. Among them I got the new It Cosmetics, the Love brush. I already used it before, so I have done my makeup before this video, but this is kind of like the first time that I sit down and film after my eye surgery. So I wanted to go for a more glowy base, but I really want to test the foundation by itself, so I'm not going to put anything underneath except for, of course, the face base that we just used from Bobbi Brown. So I got my foundation in the shade 6 Neutral. So I picked it up from the Charlotte Tilbury website. She had a 25% on going on right before the Sephora sale. So I thought, what better time to pick it up? So I'm going to go ahead, I applied some on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to use my brush. And I actually don't have a mirror in front of me. I'm using the camera as my mirror. I'll pick up one in a second, but I just kind of like want to see how it looks. So it looks like the actual color match is pretty good and accurate to my skin tone, so that was good. Okay, so yes, this color match is very spot on. I just pretty much used the color match finder and from Sephora, where you can kind of like put other foundations you have and then it'll tell you which one is best for you, and this was the one closest because I picked, you know, the one that I already have from her in the other formula. So this actually gave me a lot of coverage. I really like it. So it doesn't feel like cakey, at least not so far. I don't know how it's gonna go as soon as, you know, it starts drying, but so far it's looking really good. So it didn't fully cover the whiteness. You can still see it here, but honestly I've been struggling so much to get a foundation to fully cover. So I'm gonna go on with concealer, but I just wanted to show you kind of like more closer how everything looks. So it is looking pretty good. I thought it could have been a little more drier for my skin, but I feel like once I get everything done and I just apply my my setting spray, or in this case I like to use a more glowy one, I think it'll look even better. So I am looking, of course, very flat right now because all I have is foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on with my concealer. For the concealer, there is a number one that I've been loving lately for probably the past couple of months, maybe a little bit more since I picked it up. And this one is the Hourglass. This is, I believe, the Vanish concealer, and I've got mine in the shade Apricot, which is a perfect match. So I really, really like this. I'm going to go ahead and use it to cover the rest of the whiteness that the foundation didn't fully cover. To set that concealer that I just applied, I'm going to go ahead and use my beloved Hourglass powder. This is the Veil powder. And I'm actually running low with this pretty bad. So I need to repurchase soon. So just where I applied that concealer, I'm going to leave the rest of my face as is because I don't want to add kind of like any more. I want to avoid my face to look cakey with this foundation because again, I don't know how it's going to look on my face as the time progresses because it is a very matte full coverage foundation. And I always like to finish up my under eyes with a finishing powder, and in this case I'm going to be using my newest palette from Hourglass, the Ambient Lightning. This is the Sculpture Edit, so the newest that was just released for the holidays. I'm going to be mixing both the more kind of like more yellowy tone and the more pinky this side, and I'm just gonna mix this together, and I'm going to pretty much do the same thing that I just did. Powder around my eyes where that concealer went, but especially on the under eye. Before I go on with anything else, I do want to spritz my face with some finishing spray. I'm going to be using the Scandinavia. This is my favorite makeup spray. This one is the brighter one, so it kind of like gives a very subtle glow. For my bronzer, sort of like bronzer contour, I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow, and this is kind of like just before it's too light for my skin tone, so it gives me a very subtle contour, which I like it because of that. So I'm going to be using this shade. So the only thing is, if you were darker than my skin tone, I don't think you could get away with using this one. She does have the medium dark version of it, so I do have the fair medium. So I'm going to be using this new brush that I am absolutely obsessed with. This one is by BH Cosmetics. I got it randomly just at Ulta. I wanted to find a new kind of like more contouring, more precise brush for my contour, and this one is absolutely perfect because it's kind of like very packed, so it's not loose in any way, and it has that beautiful shape that just allows you to contour very easily. So I'm just going to apply this on the hollow of my cheeks where you kind of like usually contour, and you'll see how this product gives me just a beautiful definition, but not like super contoured. Like, you know, you're never gonna find me like with extremely chiseled cheeks. Just kind of like not what I would go for in my everyday. In special occasions, yeah, I'll go out of my way to like get a more defined contour. I do have a couple of products that I love using for that, but for my everyday, I liked a little more definition, but a little more subtle definition, if that makes sense. For my highlight, I'm gonna be using the Rare Beauty in the shade Flaunt. So I've been really liking this. I got it, you know, as soon as it was released, and this shade, even though it looks very dark when I saw it, I didn't think this would work for me, but honestly, it is really, really beautiful once you apply it. So I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand, just, you know, to ensure that I don't kind of like put too much product directly. So it's gonna be right there on the back of my hand. As you can see, it's a beautiful, beautiful shade. And I don't have a beauty blender near me, and I don't feel like getting up. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and try and use this other new brush that I got specifically for highlight. This one is by Real Techniques in the shade, or in the name is Rebel Edge Medium. So I'll see if this works. If it doesn't, then I'll just grab my beauty blender. So I just applied the product there, and I'm going to go ahead and, oh, it is working. Nice. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start blending in the usual places where I would apply my highlight. So look at how pretty that is. And I like the application with this brush because it's kind of like a little bit more subtle. So look at how pretty. And there's nothing here. That's kind of just, actually that's just the Hourglass powder. You can see how that beautiful glowiness is peeking through. That is the powder from Hourglass. That's the magic of the Hourglass powders. So here is the highlighted area, and let's do the same on the other side. I'm actually going to go ahead and dip into the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow again. And I am just going to kind of like set this highlight, which again, look at how beautiful that highlight is. With the same brush, I'm just going to go ahead and apply a little bit of this one just on the top. Same area where I just contoured, when I just highlighted. And this is such a beautiful product. I really love it. This highlight is so, so beautiful. Let's move on with blush. And I do have a new one that I'm pretty excited to try. This one is, again, from Charlotte Tilbury. She had that 25% off. So I picked up the Pillow Talk Original. So I already have the Pillow Talk. I believe it's called Intense or Medium. So I wanted to pick up the original one. And as soon as I opened it, oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. Seriously, the website does not do it justice. Both the Charlotte Tilbury and the Sephora website, the color does not look as beautiful as it is in person. So I am super happy with this. I'm hoping I like it on my cheeks. But so far, just looking at the product, it looks absolutely stunning. So I'm going to be using, I'm going to apply the way she recommends, which is kind of like swish around it and then apply it. And then on the middle, just kind of like pop up the little glow on the apple of your cheeks. What a beautiful shade. I really like it. And now let's go ahead and pop on the center, the little middle part. So that's where you pop your brush right in the middle, and then you apply that on kind of like the apple of your cheeks. Oof, I really like it. It's super pretty. I'm glad I added this to my collection, and with 25% off, I could definitely not let that go. So here is the face, pretty much all done. We're gonna move on to the eyes now. It's very hard to say, but this has become my favorite eyeshadow palette in all of the ones that I own. Like, if I could only pick one shadow to use for the rest of my life, it'll be this one. And it is very hard for me to say that, but honestly, this is the most stunning palette ever. This one is Exaggerized by Charlotte Tilbury. It's just a beautiful palette and I love it. So let's go ahead and start with the prime shade, which is gonna be this one up here. And I'm gonna go use a Fenty brush. This one is in the shade 230. This is the blending brush. So I'll just apply this just as she recommends, so all over the lid. And I'm going to bring this color up into my crease just a little. And with this same brush, I'm going to go ahead and highlight my inner corners. The one next to the first one we just used. So we go ahead and use that one. And I'm going to apply this all over my lid with using the exact same brush. Now we're going to go for the Define shade. So the third one right down here. And we're just going to apply this on my outer V and of course bring it into the crease. I'm going to switch the brush to the other end, and it's kind of like a more teeny tiny precise brush. And I'm going to run the second shade we use underneath my lower lash line. So this one right here. And now I'm just going to use the Define shade down here to do the same thing, but I'm just gonna run this on the kind of like external, like almost on the tip of my lower lashes, just right on this end here. And I'm gonna connect this to the upper lashes or the upper lid. To finish up, I'm just going to go ahead and use the shade Pop, so this one right here, and I'm just going to use my finger for this, and I'm going to apply this on the center of my eyes. You can kind of like see the difference there with the pop in the center of the eye and then with nothing. It just gives that little extra that just makes the eye look so much more prettier. To finish up the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and add just a very small line. Maybe I'll do like a tiny baby wing, but I'm gonna be using a pencil liner. This one is Teddy by MAC, which is probably one of my very favorite eyeliners of all times. I really love it. So eyes are all done. I'm gonna go ahead and apply lots of mascara, and I've been really loving the Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes. Also by Charlotte Tilbury. This one came around probably like a couple of months, 2-3 months ago, and I really been enjoying it. The best combo though that I found, it's this one mixed with the Bambi Eyes by L'Oreal. I'm telling you, those two mascaras together are just perfection. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply lots of coats of mascara. To finish up this makeup look, I'm gonna go with one of my newest Lisa Eldridge additions. So she just came out with 4 new shades for her Velvet Matte, and she came out with a lip liner, like a new lip liners and new lip glosses. I picked only 1 shade of the lip gloss and lip liner. So I am going to try for today, for the very first time actually, Velvet Dragon, just because, I mean, look at how stunning this shade is. And now let's go ahead and try it for the first time. I'm so excited. I'm gonna bring you in just a little bit closer. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. Look at how stunning this lipstick is. Oh my goodness, it is so much beautiful on the lips than on like what it looks like on the actual bullet. And the bullet is just to die for. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Again, I probably said this in my last video, but I've noticed that a lot of you guys watch my videos but are actually not subscribed yet. So just be sure to hit the red button and also hit the little bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. And I promise that I'm going to be a little more active after this surgery of my eyes. I just kind of like stopped YouTube for some time, probably the full month. I probably posted 2 videos, so I'm gonna try to keep up the good uploads, probably going back to the 2 uploads per week. But anyway, if you enjoy this video, again, don't forget to subscribe because I have many more coming your way. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to follow me on Instagram as well. It's gonna be the same. I'll put my handle right here. It'll be It's Alex Mimi over on Instagram, and the same here as YouTube. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.